Kim Cho, and welcome to the Indian markets version of the Wendell effect. We're going to take a look at the markets for the week of the 4th of December, 2022. My name is Brandon Wendell. I'll be your host. And just a reminder, we're not broker-dealers or investment advisors. We're going to take a look at this information from an educational standpoint. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold any particular securities or tailoring this towards any particular individual. Past performance, no indication of future results, and we are not subject to trading restrictions, so we can have a position as security initially one at a time. Now, I want to stay in touch with you guys. I want to hear from you, so please hit me up at brandonwendell.cmt@gmail.com. Let me know what you'd like to hear about or read, just what kind of analysis you'd like to see in the markets, and I'll be more than happy to kind of custom the education and the material that I do towards what you're wanting to see. Special alert, I'm going to be doing a live event on the 20th of November. It'll be probably Eastern American time. So unfortunately, if you're in that zone, great. If you're not, if you're in India, it might be in the middle of the night. I'll give you some more updates as we get closer to the date to let you know exactly what time it's going to be, but it'll be on the 20th of December. Anyway, moving along here for the week of December 4th, let's take a look at what the Indian markets are holding for us. So for the last week, you see the banking sector was a little bit weak here. Finance was a bit red, except for a few. There was a couple of exceptions. As far as technology, pretty bullish. Energy, minerals, looks like it's bullish there. So overall, not too bad. I mean, we were expecting markets to go to the upside, and that's what we saw in the Nifty. This was another week. Actually, the last 2 weeks were bullish, very green. And I've been talking about that. We actually did exceed some of the targets. You can see that we had impulse, correction, impulse, and target number 1 was hit at 61.8% of the previous impulse. Now we pulled back a little bit, both. And you can see the target for here, this was based on this impulse, correction, and impulse. And the overlap, look at that. From the big impulse back here and the smaller, closer impulse, we have an overlap for a target here right around that 19,600. So that's a really good probable topping point for the markets. That means we're still going to have some more bullish weeks here. Going into the daily chart of the Nifty, you're seeing more momentum to the upside. We had a little bit of a pullback and are still pushing higher. So keep an eye out. Thursday, Friday, you see the red candles. We had a little bit of a pullback, but again, we're looking like we're going to continue impulsing up towards that 19,600. And I don't see us pulling back too deeply before we do that. 4-hour time frame, if you want a little bit closer targets, we may stall out at 19,180. And then, of course, again, that 19,600 is that big target that I'm really looking for. If we do pull back, well, we have a demand almost right away right here, right? Rally, base, rally. So we're looking at a little under, what is that, 18,650 would be that area right around there. That's our demand zone. So if we are going to pull back, it's not much more before we make some new highs. And like I said, 19,180.50 could be one of the pausing points before we go higher, meaning we're going to pull back again, so take profits there. Looking at Reliance looks pretty bullish. You see it did pull back a little bit and then expanded to the upside. We had this impulse, correction, impulse, and hit both the targets. So the next target is up above about 29 something. And we are experiencing a small correction here. As a matter of fact, I think I drew that one out too. Yeah, there it is. So the current impulse that we're in, I'm kind of ignoring this little news-driven move on the 28th. So impulse up, correction down. We've corrected 23.6 already. If there's more weakness to come, we're probably not going to go below 26.71. So that'd be a good buying opportunity with your stop at the 26.45. However, we may already just be ready to move up from here and just have that small pullback to 2,700 that we just experienced. That means if we break the high from Friday, we should see prices move up towards that 28.35 level. There's plenty of momentum to do it. And historically, a lot of sirens outside. Historically, from December 4th until the end of the year, 70% of the time for the last 10 years, Reliance has been bullish with an average return of 1.18%. So I am expecting Reliance to continue to push higher, maybe not really expand very fast, but at least go higher towards the end of the year. Infosys also had a little bit of a failure here. We had a negative divergence where we had higher highs in price, lower highs on the indicator. We've already pulled back a little bit, filled the gap. So that may be the end of our pullback. It's close to 38%. And if we do break the high here on this 4-hour time frame, expect new highs to be made on Infosys. If not, we could pull back as deep as 50%. It looks more bullish though. HDFC Bank is stuck sideways. Look for something else. You can see we're losing momentum as we're just going sideways right now in a channel. So unless we break out of that channel and retest it on the breakout, don't touch it. You're pretty much stuck here. If you wanted to day trade, you could day trade in between the bottom of the range and top of the range. We're not quite at the bottom yet. We still have a little bit of movement from 1607 down to 1590 before it bounces again. On to the Bank Nifty on the weekly chart, extremely bullish as well. Again, made it to the first target based on the previous correction impulse. And we have a lot more momentum right now than we did on the previous high. And that's what you should see. When you have really good movement like that, you should see a lot of momentum in the indicators. So this is suggesting if we pull back, it's going to be mild. We might just continue to make new highs. So if we do pull back, look for it to come back to maybe 42,068, possibly even a little bit higher than that. We might stall out right in this 42,500 area before we go make new highs. But overall, looking pretty bullish here. On the 4-hour chart, let's see, was it 42.5 I was talking about? Yeah, you can see this was that area I was just referring to. And there's a demand there on the 4-hour time frame. We're around that 42.5, 42.475 to 42.202. That's a really good buying opportunity, I think. We are diverging right now. Prices are making higher highs. The indicator is going down. That's suggesting we're going to drift a little lower. But again, the higher time frames are very bullish. So look for us to bounce from that price level. That'd be a good buying opportunity. Some other new trade ideas, or actually some follow-up on some of the old trade ideas. TCS on the 4-hour chart, we were looking at this before and it's already broken out. Unfortunately, never got back down to my entry. 32.20 was where I was looking to get in. And you can see we only pulled back a little bit, a little over halfway there, and it just took off. So we missed it. No big deal. Not a loss. It's just a missed opportunity. Nestle India is an interesting opportunity. You see, December 3rd through January 14th, 80% of the time for the last 10 years, it has gone up. And the average return's over 2%. So look for Nestle India to give you a possible buy opportunity. Looking at the charts now on the daily, we actually have a really good column of buying pressure that originates here at 18,958 to 18,410. So look for a pullback to that area for a buying opportunity. This in itself is not the strongest opportunity up here. Could end up bouncing from this point, but really I'm liking the origin of all that buying pressure right about 19,000. So look for that. Again, also with the seasonal move, we should bounce from that area. Was this Tech Mahindra Limited? Also, 80% of the time for the last 10 years has been pretty bullish, almost 7% to the upside. This is from December 3rd to January 14th as well. You can see very bullish during that time. And then it goes flat before it drops off. So, got to take advantage of that. If we can get a pullback on our daily chart, we have this nice buying opportunity, 1055, 1036, targeting about 1134 and then 1251 for the next target. So look for that, again, pullback to be able to buy. You notice right here, we also have a little bit of a basing. This 1075 could act as a buying opportunity if we don't get down to 1055. Anyway, that's what I got for you this week. I would love to hear back from you. Don't forget, we're going to do the live session on the 20th of December. You can also email me, brandonwendell.cmt@gmail.com, to let me know what securities you might want to look at. And follow me on Twitter, @TraderBdub. I'd like to tweet a lot of stuff out there and keep you informed as to what's going on. So until next time, trade safe, trade well. Take care, everybody.